Hello everyone, welcome back to Meet Me in Taipei. This is Jacqueline.
And this is Janice.
And we're so happy to have you guys back here with our YouTube videos. And she's here. So, we couldn't film a video last week because I was pretty sick and I was having finals last week. There were a bunch of papers going on. This week for episode 69, we want to talk about 3 ways to maintain a long-lasting relationship. I'm pretty sure that we talked a lot about like first date experiences or guys that we're attracted to. But for this episode, we want to talk something more in-depth for both guys and mostly girls to understand our perspective and also how to maintain a long-lasting relationships. So
for like a long-lasting relationship, we're just so like we're all on the same page. I'm talking about like years down the line. I'm not talking about like 6 months or like I'm talking about like 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. 10 years. Like, the forever kind of relationship.
yeah.
So my first thing is be present. So what I mean by that is engage in conversation or like anything that your partner kind of like points out and says. So for example, this has actually been in a study that I read somewhere in a book, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That like, for example, if me and Jacqueline are a couple,
I mean, we kind of are.
and then like we're like what 50 years married. Then we go on a vacation and then she tells me like, hey Janice, like look, there's a bird outside, it's really cute. I shouldn't be on my phone and I shouldn't disregard what she says and I shouldn't even ignore her. I have to go over and kind of like engage in what she's interested in that she chose to tell me, because like you can observe anything in your life, but if you want to kind of like share that part of your life with your significant other, you also have to kind of like put in effort to make sure that you are engaging with your significant other to make sure that they know that you feel valued.
Yeah.
So that's my first tip, to just to be present and to really like engage with anything your partner does, like whether or not their words or their like body language or their actions or inaction.
Totally agree, 100% agree. Nowadays, we're always on our phone. Sometimes we may be distracted by like messages or whatever. So I think it's really important to be present in the moment. As for my tips, I feel like the very first tip that I have is to be each other's emotional supporters, because sometimes there are people that maybe distract your negativities in life, but I feel like your significant others needs to be your emotional supporter, because that way you feel like someone is always there for you, and when you want to vent something, there's always gonna be someone there waiting for you, or hearing you out or whatever. Sometimes like a lot of couples, they can't get out of their previous relationship. It's because they form some kind of bonds already. So they're like, it could be really toxic. That's why we say there's so many toxic relationships and anything, but that's because they have like, they're each other's emotional supporters. That's why I feel like when we're in Taiwan, or like there's so-called, or like not just in Taiwan, but like there's cuffing season and like breaking up seasons.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like at one point I think all of my friends like broke up with each other, or like a lot of couples broke up, and usually around this time, like during winter, because it's like couple season.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah, like everybody gets together.
Yeah.
So my second point is learn how to fight with each other, learn how to have your own space and like be individualistic with each other, because when you learn how to fight with each other, you actually listen to them and basically just communicate and like know what they're trying to say and know what they're trying to like, I guess like 表达, because if you don't, then it's going to be a very big problem and you guys are going to be misunderstood.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more problems. Learn how to fight and like learn how to be your own person before jumping into like a long-term relationship. So you guys can both be your own person and share that life with each other. So that's my second tip. Like I think everybody needs to be their own person and knows who they are before they go into like just forever.
Yeah.
So that's my second tip.
Pretty true, because like sometimes everyone has their own way to like argue.
Yeah. What's yours actually?
How do I fight? Ooh, that's kind of intense. So from what I've heard or what people tell me about it, it's like I always victimize others. Pretty bad. Don't do that. I always victimize like my significant others and make them feel like they're the one doing it wrong. But sometimes I feel like they're doing it wrong because at the moment I'm not happy with it. Which is really bad, so don't do that. Yeah. But what about you?
That's okay. If I'm really, really, really pissed off, then I actually go to my own corner and like.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, and like I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm gonna stop talking to you actually, and then I'm gonna talk to you when I calm down.
Yeah.
And no matter how long that takes, like a day, a couple of
Yeah.
hours. Because I'm like, if I'm mad at you, then I'm not going to engage in conversation with you at all. That's just gonna fuck with like my mind. And then afterwards, I usually use 其实我还蛮会用逻辑吵，也不是吵架，就是 argue.
Okay.
So it's like I want to find a solution. So in my mind, it's like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Like it's like a scientific process.
Yeah.
You know? So find a problem, find a process, and like try to solve the problem. So there's always like a step-by-step kind of thing about like identify it and like how can we solve it and how can we fight less to solve it. Yeah.
So you wouldn't be like, at the moment, you wouldn't be like, okay, let's calm down and talk about it.
I think it depends on like the situation. If we're in a hurry, then yeah, I'm gonna calm down and like talk to you about it, and I'm going to, I think logically, like just use logic and like use practicability to kind of like talk through it, because talking through it without emotions aside, talking through it actually gets to a lot of places. So I think put your feelings away for now and like talk through it so you can solve the problem. And then anything else that comes up afterwards, you can, you know, you can faho, whatever. But in the meantime, solve the problem.
Wow, learn that, not this.
没有坏处, okay.
That's not too bad because like you won't have any agitated conversation with others, which is good.
It's good, but at the same time, I've also been told that like 就是有人会说 oh I'm emotionally unavailable 或者是 like oh 你太没有感情了 do you not care because like you're not using your feelings and emotions to fight with me like do you not care about me and I'm like no I do care about you I'm just trying to like solve the problem. I think there's good sides and bad sides to it.
I think that's good. I think there's no bad sides about that because I really need that part of you.
我给你
好啊好啊 But yeah, my second tip is always remember you and your partner's anniversary date and always celebrate it. I'm not talking about like Veterans Day or anything, but I'm talking about like, oh, like happy 1 month anniversary, happy 6 months anniversary, happy 1 year, even 1 year, 3 years anniversary. Keep it really fun and interesting when you're dating someone else because you know, once you've done everything you could have done in a relationship, it's like getting boring. Don't you think so?
I kind of disagree with that because I feel like with the right person, I'm almost never bored. Like you've done things that like you do, but like I think for me, I'll always find something like that kind of actually brings me to my next point, but like to reiterate what Jacqueline says, I'm not a big like anniversary person. I don't think for me it's not necessarily like important, but I think with the right person, everything is new and everything is like 很新鲜. Yeah. So it's like you know, like we've been to a ton of places, but at the same time, like I also kind of want to just chill with you.
I remember you telling me that you don't really celebrate anniversaries.
Anniversaries, yes, but I'm not gonna
like every.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, when do we meet, or like, this is like, you know, like we've been together for like 6 months, and where's my 6 months anniversary? I do a year like annually.
Yeah, maybe like I probably would do that later on, but now I'm just like, if I can, obviously I would celebrate any tiny like anniversary, but sometimes I forget. Or like even on a day and we're fighting, we're arguing.
Oh,
I think that's
okay.
That's for my case. So I don't know about others. That's why I'm saying like for me, like it's really important to remember your anniversary with others and. Also like Christmas, you know, New Year's Eve. Just make sure, like, just celebrate it with, you know. I feel like that's what I do.
Like celebrating with your significant other, I think is a whole, like, that's actually kind of important because you're also spending time with each other. And, you know, making memories. So I think that's really important.
So what's your last one?
So my last point is actually something that, like, I've believed in ever since I was, like, 13. So it's been pretty, like, ingrained in my head. Marry your best friend.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Marry your best friend?
Yeah. So, like, what I meant by that is... Wait. Let me explain. 就是说, like, marry your best friend as in, like, he has to either be my best friend or become my best friend.
Oh.
对了，你是想什么东西?
Like, wait, so...
This sounds no. Okay. So, like, the person long-term wise, like, or my boyfriend or like whatever, my significant other, he has to be my best friend or he has to become my best friend. Like I kind of want that relationship where it's like we can tell each other everything, and then I'm your right hand and you're my right hand, and like you're my go-to and I'm your go-to, you're my person, you know, like I'm your person. What I meant by like, oh, date your best friend, meaning I want a relationship and I want to cultivate a relationship where we have to be able to tell each other everything and there's no games, no anything. Like, you're my person and I'm your person. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of relationship I want, and that's what I meant by like to date your best friend.
Yeah, true. Also, I think you brought up a really good point, which is my last tip of how to maintain a long-lasting relationship. Don't do games.
跟几个男生讲啊
Because like, it's fun to play games, like, you know, through texting, whatever, sometimes. But I feel like for long-term wise, if you really want to date someone that you know you guys are gonna last for a pretty long time till you're, you know, I don't think you should, because when you're playing games, you're kind of like, I feel like you're attracted to something else more than the person. You're attracted to the vibe. It's not gonna last long because once you date this person, you realize, oh wait, she's not or he's not the person that I thought he was or she was, which is gonna give you another idea of this person. And maybe like towards the end, you'll be like, oh, I don't really like you anymore. But if you start off with no games, 我觉得那种人比较老实。
Yeah. No, it's like, again, like, I don't really play games. And it's like, I feel like you can kind of tell right away. Or not right away, but like, you can kind of tell like almost a week or two in if anybody's playing games. And the effort and like the kind of like conversation that he will give you. And like, yeah, like you can kind of tell, like, especially if you like the person so much and like the other person kind of reciprocates it. You're able to tell that he's not playing games. And that's pretty important. Like, at this age, I am like, no more games. So I make my intentions clear and hopefully, you know, like the other person does too.
Or I mean, I understand that if people are more attracted to the beginning, like where people be like not as active or like not as engaging as you think he would. According to a book that I'm reading right now, I'm not gonna say the name of the book, but yeah, maybe you really do have to do some. Just don't act as that available, because I feel like guys are really straightforward animal, to be honest. Did I just say that? Pretty straightforward people that they believe whatever is presented in front of them. So I would say for long-term wise, don't play games because that's gonna drain both your energy out. But short-term wise, yeah.
No, I can't do games anymore.
I feel like I can, but if I'm bored at the moment and you're bored too, yeah, game on.
没有那个力气 like I have no energy for that. But yeah, no, I totally get it. No games for me at this age. Like, I don't think I have any time or any energy or any intention of playing games. So if anything, I make my intentions very clear to you, and then hopefully, you know, he reciprocates it. So no more games.
Yeah. One thing I realized that older guys that I've talked to, can I say that? Or like older guys. No, because like, I'm not interested and they're not interested, but just like the way they reply my texts, it's like very efficient, very fast. Because you know, sometimes like people that are like younger than me, they do like texting
like
games.
Texting it?
Yeah, like they wait 30
shit,
minutes
like...
and then like maybe reply within 2 hours or like 15 minutes, you know. But like for I would say like older guys, they don't do that. They just reply whenever they can. I feel like probably they have like a handful of girls.
No, I don't think it's girls actually. I think they're just busy.
Depends
on the guy, true. But like, but at least the guys that I've met, I think like the guys who have been very clear about like what they want, I've appreciated that, because like it's not, you know, you make your point very clear. And we're not wasting each other's times, and everybody's busy. Like, we have work, we're traveling, we're like with friends, with family. So like priorities, and you just make your intentions clear. It's really not that hard.
Yeah, those are the 3 tips that we think would be a good point to maintain a long-lasting relationship.
This is kind of like a little summary of like what we think will work in a long-term relationship.
Way more in depth than our previous episode.
Yeah, it's kind of fun talking about this because like I think, at least for me, I'm at the age where like, again, I'm not trying to play games.
You look so young. He looks like a junior high student.
我被认成国中生，你知道吗？ Anyway, it's kind of just like I want a companion, and like I'm really not trying to like mess around anymore. When I like a person, I really do like the person. So.
I feel like for Virgos, like when we like a person, it's just like indefinitely.
Like game over, GG. Yeah. I think it's just like I think like when we both Jacqueline and I really like somebody, it's just, you know, like all in.
Yeah, when I really like someone, I don't really have that many like past relationships examples, but like when I really like someone, I can just put in everything, emotional wise. Don't misunderstand.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like that's fine, I feel.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure I have once. Obviously, we're still we're still friends, but when I was younger, like it did happen, so that's how I know, like, if I do like somebody, you know, it's like 200% even. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a little bit of like what we think in terms of like long-term relationships and like how we think about it and how we maintain it. And yeah, hopefully you guys get some tips from it, both guys and girls. And for next week, we'll be talking about something pretty fun. Now that we're both in LA together, we'll be doing vlogs in LA and like just cruising around, walking around, trying to film everything, and just, you know, like our lives together. But hopefully you guys will have fun. And next week, we'll be talking about our bucket list examples.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot, since that, like, you know, now that COVID is a little bit more calmed down, there's tons of places that we want to be and tons of things that we want to do. So, you know, just to give you guys a little bit more like ideas of what our bucket lists are before we die.
And also, like, make sure, we didn't mention this earlier, but like make sure to get your vaccinations, because there's another variant going around, but hopefully it's not gonna be too bad, but like still get your vaccinations. That's really important.
Yeah, so again, like, do your part and all will be fine. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. We're super happy to be doing YouTube again and to see her back in LA. So it's the first time we're actually like in Los Angeles together.
No, second time.
It's like long term.
Yeah, long term wise.
Yeah, long term wise. So I'm really excited to be just exploring with Jacqueline.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, tune in. There's gonna be a lot more content coming on YouTube and Anchor. And like podcasts. So again, thank you for listening.
Every Sunday night on YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all that.
Yeah, and then just tune in every Sunday night, 9 p.m. PST.
And then meet you guys there.
Yeah. Bye.
You know, there's always someone who's
Well, it's like